With this being a bar or a pub, I've just added these barrels at the back. It just makes it look like, you know, this is where they're getting their drink from. And this is obviously in the props folder. I think I just used this one, okay? Or it may have been this one. Just feel free to put that in, and then obviously attach that to the props. Okay, wait for that to update. There we go. Now, if you add anything to a prefab, you can either click and drag and add it into the project, or in the inspector you'll see something called overrides that will show you everything that you've done to this as an override to the original prefab, and we can choose apply all. Okay, and that will then apply it all back to that might actually apply it back to the original prefab. Okay, so what we want to do here then is create another building. So instead of it being like a pub or a bar, we're actually going to create like a wizard's home where there's lots of like potions and that kind of thing inside. So we're going to right click on this one. We're going to choose prefab, unpack completely. Okay. And quite happy with the first bit. I don't want this part. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Just going to start deleting some things. Okay, don't want it. Oh, actually, I could have it come around like. No, I don't. Don't want that. Get rid of this as well. Get rid of this, this, and this. Okay, and get rid of the post as well. Alright, so what I want to do here is take both of these, Control and D to duplicate, and just bring this forward, make sure my snapping is off, and then obviously I can just attach these two. So just holding V, I can then snap those two together. And then on this side, I can take these two, Control and D, move these over to this side, take this one and delete it, ensure that I have both of those selected, and then I'm just going to hold V and snap it together. There we go. Alright, that's great. Then I'm going to take this, Control and D, just move this forward, and I'm going to hold V and just snap that back into place, and then I'm going to take this, this, and this, Control and D, and then just move this one across, and I should just be able to snap this into place. So I'll just hold V and snap. Okay, so that should be nicely in place now. Just double check this. Yeah, alright, I think that looks fine. Okay, so notice how easy it is to actually make a change here. For now I'm just going to hide this. I'll come back to that shortly. For this one I'm going to get rid of these top pieces. Okay, so just to make it different. And what I want here, instead of this door, I actually want one of these to be coming this way. So if I take a piece of roof, do a Control and D, rotate this around, so Control and rotate it around, I should then be able to just, I don't think I've rotated that correctly. Yep, -90, there we go. I should then just be able to bring this out to get it to match up to about here. like this, just so that it's hidden on the inside. And then I can start doing Control and D and piecing these together so that it effectively comes out this way. So I'm just going to click on this one, just switch it off temporarily. Just see which way is the best. Switch this one off temporarily. There we go. Now I can see it. And I'm just going to click on this one, hold V and snap together. Okay. Then once again, I'm going to do a Control D, bring this forward, hold V and snap together. Control D, bring this forward and snap together. Okay, there we go. So now I'll just switch these back on again. There we go. Okay, so now we can effectively have a piece that comes out like this. I'm wondering whether to keep that door in there. Actually, that might be quite nice. I might do that. Okay, so I just want to take these two pieces, Control and D, move these forward like this. Then I want to switch off this temporarily. Take this piece, hold Shift, take this piece, hold V and snap that together. Then it looks like I need another piece, so I'm going to use one of these more bland pieces, Control and D. Let's just bring it this way and then let's just rotate, so hold Control, rotate so it's 90 degrees. I can bring that forward and just snap together. Hold V and snap. There we go. Alright, excellent. Then we need to pretty much do the same on the other side, so I'll actually take the exact same pieces, Control and D, just move them over to this side. Now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated because we have to snap it to this piece. Okay, so I'm just going to hold V and snap it together. There we go. And it should match up. But because this is slightly offset by the look of it, it doesn't. Okay, so what I need to do here then is take this piece, hold Shift, this piece, this piece, and this piece. I need to get this to line up. Now, is it really pushing it out? It is pushing it out quite a bit. So let me undo that, Control and Z. So instead what I'll do, I'll just simply take these pieces and push these so that it matches up with this. Also want to take these pieces and just push those in a bit. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Then I want to take the floor pieces, Control and D, just move these forward, and I just want to rotate. Just ensure that on your rotation you're using center, and I'll rotate them around like this. Should then just be able to just put these into position. So let's just hold V and snap. Control and D, move them across, and then once again just snap these into place. So hold V. There we go. Now I need to take both of these sections and just try and line them up with this. Yeah. Okay, then we need the floor pieces. So I'll just take two of these, Control and D, just bring them this way. Now we do need them to be going in this direction, I think. Or can we rotate these? Let me check. Well, actually it'd be better if I rotate them. Yeah, so that fits nicely. So it's just a case of then getting this to match up. So I'm just going to hold V and I'm just going to snap it to the edge of that. Control and D again. I'm going to get this to come in like this. Hold V and snap. There we go. Okay, and then finally we just need an end piece here. Control and D, bring this over like this. Just going to rotate them all till it's -90. And then we'll take a look at how we can snap these together. So I'll just hold V and snap. Okay, I notice that that's not quite matching up on this side, so I'm just going to take these three and just push these together until it almost snaps. I'm not actually physically snapping those together, and then I want to take one of these posts. Okay, so Control and D, bring this up here, and that will mask that side then. Okay, now I do have a little bit of a gap going on here, so let me take this piece and just see if I've got a gap. No, I haven't. Okay, so it's just the top piece. I'm just going to basically push this back. Take this, push it back a little bit. Control and D, put one on this side. Control and D, put one on this side as well. Okay, there we go, and now we've got an extra little piece that's coming out of there like that. Alright, that makes it a little bit more interesting. So now you can see that you've got a little doorway, and I might have this door actually rotated the other way. So using my rotation, just make sure that I'm on pivot. I'm just going to pivot that one that way this time. There we go. Change back to center again, and yeah, okay, so it will now go into this area here. Alright, which looks fine. Could probably do with some windows on that room at the back, so I'm just going to duplicate this one, bring this all the way over, and I'll just replace, I think I'll replace this one, so I'll just delete that, take this one and just snap this into place. So just holding V, there we go. Alright, now we've got a window going on. Great. Just make sure that these are lined up. There is a little bit of an issue with the tiling there on the textures, but it's not too obvious. Let's just take the roof sections here, including this, and oh, they are part of the roof, so that's good, they're already in there. So then we can see what this looks like on the inside. You can see that I'm missing some wood here, so let me take these two, Control and D. Just move these over this side and just switch that off temporarily. Holding V, I can then snap those together and switch that post back on. The wrong post. There's a few up here, so I think it's that one. Great, there we go. And I also need a duplicate of that as well. Control and D, and then let's just bring this over to this side. Alright, excellent. Great, so let's imagine then that this is kind of a wizard's place. So what kind of props could we put in here? So let's take a look. Well, we probably need a few candlestick holders, I think. So I'm going to bring some of these in here like this. Okay, once again, just switch on the snap in, lock it down to the grid. And I'm just going to rotate this, so control. Yep, might put another one over here, control and D. Bear in mind it already has a light source attached to it, so we'll sort that out a little bit later. Yep, that's quite nice. Furniture. If I click on this cupboard, let's see. Yeah, this looks like it has some wizardy sort of stuff going on there, so I'll bring one of these in. Maybe over by this area. Control. Switch this back on, snap it down to the grid. Okay, yep, that looks good. Maybe an area where he can record his findings. Okay, so let's put one of these in here. And we've got this, which looks pretty interesting. I might actually put that in this back room over here. Rotate that around. Yep, make sure it's -180. Okay, and then just snap that. Oh, it's floating at the moment. Just pull it down, there we go. Snap it into place. Okay, yep, looks interesting. Yep, this looks quite wizardy, doesn't it? Let's bring one of these in. Now I'm wondering if this is something that might be attached to the wall. It kind of looks like it should be. So I just want to rotate this around. Now I just want to try this. If it has a collider, I should just be able to do Shift and Control and move it back, which it doesn't. Okay, so that's interesting. So I'm just going to switch this back on, lock it to a grid position, and then just manually push it up against the wall. So it's kind of sitting on the wall. Yep, I think that looks quite nice. Okay. Then obviously we've got this with the like little potions and things. So let's put one of those in. Let's just rotate this around. Switch this on, down onto the grid. And then presumably there need to be somewhere where you can sit down. So we'd need some kind of chairs. Let's put in a bench actually. Let's put one over here. Push it down onto the grid. There we go, that should be fine. And then presumably there'd be a lot of books to read through, so let's see where the books can go. Maybe here. So what's this one? Ooh, this has all sorts of jars and things. That might be interesting as well. Let's put this one over here. Rotate this around. Yep, and just lift it up. Drop it onto the grid. And I think I'll take this one, move this over here, take this one and move it over by the wall. Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at this. Yep, this looks pretty good. So I think I'll put this right in the center of the room. So that's kind of where it mostly works from. Drop it down to the grid. Yep, alright, looks good. Got some interesting stuff going on there, some interesting potions. And then obviously in this room, this is where maybe he does most of his reading. So once again, we want the library in this part. So I'm looking for some books. Nope, that's the drinks one again. I think the books are further up. Let's have a look. Not the same one. That's got some books. Alright, that looks good. Let's drag this in then. Switch this on, drop it down to the grid. Don't think it's on the floor. There we go. Now it is. Let's pull this over to this side, over here. And maybe you might want to have a sit down, so let's bring in this nice fancy chair. Just rotate this around. Sure that it's dropped onto the grid. Yep, so it's all looking good. Great. And we may also need some kind of rugs in here, so that's part of our dinner table. And we've got our prefabs, just waiting for it to update at the moment. There we go. Let's just bring in some of these. So once again, let's just drop it down onto the floor. Probably do it with a few over here as well. There we go. Drop it onto the grid and then just make sure it's dropped down onto the floor. And maybe one over here as well. Okay, now when you enter this area, there's a chance that you could potentially collect some stuff. Okay, so let's find what we can collect. So in the props, prefabs, props, I might use these jugs as like collectibles. So let's have a look at jug 3. So when you smash a jug, you might be able to find stuff inside of it. So I'm just going to drop that down onto the ground. That looks fine. Okay, maybe put another one over here. So I just want to duplicate that, Control and D. These are really big jugs. I don't think this one might be a smaller one, possibly. No, it's still pretty big. Okay. Let's have a look in the books. Various other items. Got a scroll. We might be able to take a scroll. Let's potentially put the scroll on here. Okay, so you could probably pick that up and it might have a few kind of spells on there that you could use. Then we also have the potions. We can place those in later. Various books as well. Might want maybe a couple of barrels as though they contain something. So let's just put a barrel in here. push that a little bit further over to the wall there. Like you can put like a little bucket in there. And obviously we'll have a little bit of a fire going on in there as well, I think. Okay, what I'm looking for now are some like boxes. Now I do remember that's part of our medieval prefab, the original medieval house had a couple of boxes with it. So I'll just bring this in. Here we go. I'll right click, prefab, unpack completely, and I'll just take one of these boxes, just move it over into here so that we can use this. Is it called wooden bucket? That's interesting. It's not exactly a bucket, is it? But anyway, I'll take this and I'll just drop it down here. So that now I can take my medieval house light and just delete that. Now we've got a wooden bucket, they call it. This kind of crate. Where shall I put this? Oh, I might actually leave it in this room so that you can collect something out of there. Just have a look at its rotation. It's currently on 0, which is interesting. I just have to manually line that up. And then let's just drop it down onto the grid. There we go. And then just maybe just put it into place. Okay. Yep. So we've now effectively got kind of a wizard's house. Let's just put the roof back on, see what it looks like. Yep, everything's good. There's no gaps or anything unusual going on. Okay, great. So we now need a well, I'll make sure that the roof is right down here at the bottom. We also need the props, don't we? So let's do that. Let's click on this. Let's right click, create empty, and let's call it props. We need to put all of the props in there. So let's just make sure that all of our props are down at the bottom. So all the way down to wooden bucket. Let's open this again and let's take from candlestick floor all the way down to wooden bucket, drag that into props, and now if I switch them all off, make sure that there are none left switched on, which there aren't. Okay, so that's good. So that's all of our props. Alright, excellent. I'll also switch on the roof as well. Now we do need a sign for this to tell us that it is actually a wizard's place. At the moment, however, it looks like a bar or a pub. Okay, so in the next video we'll be manipulating this so that we know that this is a wizard's place.